Hey, thanks for stopping by. Another No BS social media chat. I've had that Guns N' Roses song from days gone by running through my head. You know, the one where he whistles in it, Patience, because that is the title of today's social media update. And I understand you want things to happen now. I understand you want to grow your followers, grow your email list, whatever your social media needs are. I know you want it now. You want it yesterday. It's never fast enough. And it's funny, as we look back now, over the course of the last couple of years of doing these videos, and gosh, now almost the last decade of doing social media, the one thing that stays constant, the one thing that never changes, and I think that's just the society we live in today, is the lack of patience. Is everybody wants it now. And sadly, and there have been books and there have been studies and there have been all these things talking about, putting in the hours. You've heard about, the 10,000 hours and things like that, about putting in the time to get it done right. And I understand that we are now in a society where we can have everything in a moment's notice. I mean, heck, just go back to the internet and remember what it was like just to load a web page back in the days of a 14.4 baud modem or a 9600 baud modem going way, way back in the late 80s, early 90s. Yet times have changed, technology's changed, but the one thing that hasn't changed is people's attention spans. And actually, I guess people could say maybe they have changed and they've gotten worse over the years. You only have 7 seconds to grab people's attention. So it's more important now than ever before to make sure you are up to date. Your best content, your best foot is your best foot's forward, I guess you'd say. You put your best foot forward is I guess the proper way to say it. I understand you want this growth. You want whatever now. If you look at our YouTube page, because you can see the numbers on a lot of these videos, I don't know in the course of now over 100 videos, if we have any one video that's been viewed 100 times. At least on YouTube 100 times. Of course, YouTube counts on other pages, on the Facebook, on the embeds or whatever, don't necessarily count in that factor. But I'll be honest with you, it's never deterred me. In fact, there are some, if you go back to some of the earlier episodes, that have 4, 5, maybe 6 views on them total. Again, when I started this, I didn't put this up to become a YouTube star. I hoped people would find it. I hoped I would gain an audience. I hope there would be something I'd talk about. There was something so common sense that would get 100,000 views. But I'm not discouraged that it hasn't. It comes in time. And I've noticed one thing over the course of the last 6 months to a year, as our social media following for not only myself, but for my company has grown on the internet, the views have gone up. Now, are they ever going to be what I want them to be? No. I want every video to have 1 million views. I want to push it out there on Monday morning when it goes out to our followers and boom, have 100,000 views by the end of the day and 1 million views by the next. It's not going to happen. Again, I'm never going to be a YouTube star. Who wants to look at this fat old guy, right? Now, granted, if I had some cute little 21-year-old something girl in a bikini on here, we'd probably have 1 million views. Of course, she wouldn't be able to give you this content. Of course, you wouldn't be watching for that content, would you? I know it goes without saying, but as I look back again over the last couple of years, the one thing that has not changed is the patience factor. Still to this day, most of the clients I work with are very impatient. I have to kind of, bring them down off the rafters every now and again, going, relax, it's going to happen. It takes time. I understand you want it yesterday. I understand you want it to happen now. That's the one thing about the music business I found, as I've always told people. They're the people who are in the music business, but then there are people who are in the getting on the radio business, and it's 2 separate businesses. Because they think by getting on the radio, everything's going to happen now. And sadly, you've got to build up to that point to where you're ready to get on the radio, because you only get one first chance. Well, I think, you can live and learn with social media. You can grow, you can ebb, you can tide. I spent the first few years on social media really trying to build my company profile, really trying to build Intensity Media. And finally, after enough people told me that's important, but what's more important is Kevin Mason, is the Kevin Mason brand, because so many people have known me and have known who I am and what I do, and they know me better than they know my company. I finally acquiesced and said, okay, you know what, I'll accept that Kevin Mason is a brand, that Kevin Mason is possibly what people come to see. So I guess this would be Kevin Mason's No BS Social. I'm not going to go that far. But I've really started working more on my pages, working on what I'm doing, the Kevin Mason side of it, rather than the Intensity Media side. It's not to say Intensity Media doesn't have a purpose, but at the end of the day, people remember the person. And what I've really seen is it's amazing how fast things like my Twitter profile or Facebook or even the YouTubes have grown since I really started focusing more of my content on my social media sites rather than the company sites. People want to connect with other people, and that's part of the reason it works. That's part of the reason we connect. I've always talked about the back and forth, the give and take. It's one thing to connect with a company, but there's something, I don't want to say mysterious, there's something steely, there's something impersonal about a company where there isn't about a person. You can see my picture. You can look into my eyes. You can see or think what I'm all about. Well, think about that. It takes some patience. It takes some time. Good things come to those who wait. Gosh, I hate to say that because, boy, I'll tell you what. When I was growing up, I was one of the most impatient people around. I've gotten better. It's always going to be tough. And I'm right there with you. I never get it when I want it, but I always get it in time. Back next week with another No BS Social Media Chat right here. NoBSSocial.com is the website to find all the videos. You can also find us on YouTube. You can find them. No BS Social is our username there, is our channel name there on YouTube. As well, you can find them on Facebook too. Back next week, another No BS Social Media Chat. Thanks so much.